So, hi guys, I am here at Stocksnes, and if you don't know where Stocksnes is, you might know this mountain here, Mount Vestrahorn, a landmark place in Iceland. It is many people's favorite place, and I've been here many times, so it's nothing new to me. I don't have every composition that is possible to do here, but I have a lot. So what I'm gonna do now, when I was driving up here, I saw these patterns in the sand because it's a little bit of snow, not a lot, just a little patches, and the water is kind of frozen, not completely frozen, but like you have puddles and then you have frozen areas. And from the car, it seemed like we had some interesting patterns to work with, to show the whole mountain maybe, like the whole thing with some patterns in the sand, the snowy patterns, and some reflection. Yeah, at least that's what I have in my head now. But it might be like when I get there, it just looks completely different than it seemed to be from the car. But we'll see. What I do know about this place, you can always get a frame here. There's always a nice frame to have. My only beef with this now is there's no clouds. No. There's clouds over there, and the sun and clouds over there, but over the mountain is absolutely nothing. And that is not necessarily my favorite thing. However, sometimes it doesn't need, overly dramatic clouds. Sometimes the isolation itself can also be nice. For example, I hear a lot of people say, including myself, I really don't like to shoot when there's blue skies. This is boring as white skies. But sometimes, especially when we have an interesting shaped mountain like we have here, sometimes it isolates it and makes the focal point shine more. Yeah, kind of. But I do like clouds. I'm just trying to sell myself now the idea of not having them now is totally fine, which it is. So it's a bit of a walk. I'm gonna walk to there and set up. Right here I would normally put B-roll, but now instead of a B-roll, I'm gonna tell you a dick joke. What's the difference between your dick and your jokes? Nobody laughs at your jokes. So I'm here at, I was gonna look for these patterns like I told you, but it didn't work out. It looked nice from the car, but it didn't work out. So, and the reflection, it's kind of close to the mountain, if you can see it here. We're standing in the reflection now, but it's kind of close to the mountain. So I will have to do a panorama. I have a 16-35. It doesn't fit the mountain, so I'm just going to do a panorama. So completely different shot than I planned to do, but there we go. You can't plan nature. So let me show you this. Here I have the frame, as you can see here. So the thing is, I usually want to expose to the right. If you see the histogram here, it is well within bounds, so I don't need to bracket, I don't need to use filter or anything like that. But it's really important before you shoot a pano that you check the whole pano. I'm watching the histogram, it's within bounds. Here it's too bright, here it's blowing out. So I need to expose for the brightest spot on the pano. And you need to basically you have to have everything on manual, including white balance. You don't want the white balance to change. You don't want anything to change while you're shooting a pano. So here I am within bounds of the histogram, and I'm checking, and it's cool all the way through. It's really important. There are two of us standing here in the puddle. Slightest move of feet will ripple the water, so it takes a few minutes to get smooth again. So when it's smooth, it's important to not move. So I'm gonna focus just on the mountain. I have no foreground to focus on, so the mountain is my focal point, and I just want the clean reflection. So here's the first one, and so I'm gonna try not to move. Oh, I got the and then I overlap between 30 and 50%. You know, if you're in doubt, just do more than less. You know, you can always work with too much, but you cannot work with too little. That's number 3. 4. 5. And 6. And maybe I'll do one more just to have, you know, if I need it, I can just crop it together. And now I look at it. Oops. There we go. That's the pano. Perfect reflection. Just the way I want it. Like I said, I came in here with one photo in mind. Didn't work out, so you just have to find another. I was just talking about this with the group yesterday and again today. Is like when you go to a place like Iceland or wherever, it's really important, you know, do your research, investigate the location and know what you're going to shoot, but don't take what you see and think, this is the photo I'm going to get. I'm going to get that photo, because you get so hung up on that you miss everything. You know, if you're not getting that shot because the conditions are different than the conditions from the photo you saw, if you're just going to be disappointed by that, then you might miss everything the location has to offer at that time. It's always different. Conditions are always different. It's nature, we cannot plan for it. So about the settings are, people tend to, you know, kind of, it's very simple. It's don't need to complicate things. For example, now I was using f11 because I wanted everything basically in focus, and there was no strong foreground. It was very simple. I just focus on the mountain, f11, guaranteed with a wide angle lens. Everything from the front of the lens to infinity will be in focus. I want optimal image quality, so, well, ISO at 100 base ISO for my camera. You can extend the ISO and go lower. That does not necessarily mean better quality. There's a reason why it's called base ISO. It's the best ISO setting for the camera. So the extended I would use that if I need to slow down a little bit the shutter speed, for example, and I did not have a filter. So just use base ISO for optimal image quality. And then speed, it didn't really matter. There's no wind, so the water wasn't moving, so I didn't have to kill it with a long exposure. So I just looked at the histogram and adjusted the speed until the histogram was not clipping the highlights or the shadows. That's it. And you frame and shoot. Easy as that. So let's see the result. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.